Hey guys, DB here. So I wanted to make this video a lot earlier. I wanted to make this video more than 2 weeks ago, ever since the last update came out. But every now and then, whenever I sat down to record, something keeps on popping up. So I wasn't able to record until now, and I thought I shouldn't delay it more. So here is it now, as you've seen from the title and the thumbnail. It's the PulsePistol review. So it's not really my thing to do it. The last time I reviewed a weapon, it wasn't actually entirely a review. It was just something that I talked about a weapon on Murmurs. It was 2 years ago. And by that time there wasn't entirely my need to do any reviews and stuff, because we had many content creators back then, and there were people who could review things better than I could. And even now there's no need for me to do it. We have even more content creators like Starboard Crazy, like Spectrum, Vivek, Manager. I can take a lot of names here. They're doing it a lot better and they're more frequent in this stuff. But for some reason I didn't notice that Star made a video on PulsePistol. I was expecting her to make it, but apparently she didn't, or even if she have, I didn't notice it. But I thought that it's quite a rare thing to see on Murmurs, that because Max does not add that many weapons on Murmurs. Last time I can mention here is the Warrior Bow, CPW, M67, Brass Knuckles, Katana, which were brought to the game more than like 8 months ago, and the CPW, I think I mentioned it. It was also a new weapon, but not that entirely. So we can conclude that having a new weapon on Murmurs is quite a rare thing to experience here. And when I heard that there's a new weapon in here, and I heard the name PulsePistol, which is a semi-automatic weapon, I was quite excited. I thought it was somewhere like CPW, something that does a burst fire, because I didn't know what semi-automatic meant there. I got new after I googled it, but at that time I didn't. I was excited that it was somewhere like a semi-automatic weapon that could do a burst fire. Apparently it didn't. It's just like a USP. It just do a tap fire. It just means that every time you have to fire, you have to press the trigger. It's not gonna do a burst fire. So that was the first point that I got disappointed. But that's what semi-automatic blast pistol means. So I was expecting that it's a new weapon. What special quality does it have that I should buy this or use this instead of any other weapon? Let's say I have CPW and a revolver. If I need to do a burst fire, I would go for a CPW. If I want to make more damage on someone, do an instant kill, or just tap on the head and wipe the enemy out, I would go for a revolver. So I was expecting, and I was hoping, or I was assuming, what special quality does PulsePistol have that I can use this instead of any other weapon? And in most cases it happens with the gravity gun and the revolver, because that's the only secondary weapons I have. I don't have enough cash. And I wanted to make a review on video on CPW as well, but I didn't have cash for it, and I asked Max to if he can somehow transfer the weapon in my inventory so I can just review it, and he was there ready to do it, but the process of it was quite tiresome. So, and he decided not to do it because it was quite tiresome, and I decided to not do the review video because it didn't have a weapon. Anyways, so I only have the gravity gun and the revolver. So anytime I want to push or stay at the back, I would go for the gravity gun. If I want to make some damage on someone, or if I'm with if I have plasma gun or a sniper, I would go for a revolver. So I have my reasons for why I wouldn't use a secondary weapon over another weapon. And every time I've used the PulsePistol, it just does not give me any reason for why I should use PulsePistol instead of gravity gun or the revolver, because so far I could not find any special thing that it have, any special advantage that it gives me. Because for me, it's just like a USP. You just call it a semi-automatic weapon. It does not make any difference. USP has more fire rate than PulsePistol have, if you can go in the armory menu and see it. Talking about the recoil, it have a more recoil than the USP have, so USP is taking the lead here. The bullet spread is the same. So if you can see the 3 leads, USP is ahead of it. The only difference PulsePistol have that it makes it 7,500 cash probably is the damages. If you see the damage chart, see PulsePistol just costs 3 more point of damage on the head than the USP, 2 points of damage on torso more than USP, and just 3 limb damage more than the USP. So I mean, you can see there is not much difference between USP and the PulsePistol, but still PulsePistol costs 7,500 and USP does not cost anything. It's just not a good supplement there. And if you just move a little ahead and go for a revolver, which is only 2,000 cash more than the PulsePistol, I feel like it's really overpowered in that sense is that if you look at the damages, or if you don't look at the damages, if you go for a fire rate, recoil, and bullet spread, of course the bullet spread and the recoil of revolver is kind of, you know, it puts you back. It's kind of disadvantage of the revolver, but the damages it causes, it's really worth it. I've came to this conclusion that revolver causes twice the damages, or more than twice the damages that the pulse pistol causes. You can see the chart. The head damage of revolver is 59, whereas the head damage of pulse pistol is 22. Same goes for the torso and limb damage, which is 18 and 17, and for revolver it's 34 and 29. It's like almost twice as much as of pulse pistol. Of course, the bullet spread of revolver and the recoil is higher, and the fire rate is slightly less, but trust me, if you're in the gameplay, it does not give you any, like, you can't feel it. If you want to instantly wipe your enemy out, pulse pistol should do it because they have a more fire rate, but revolver does it way quicker than the pulse pistol does, and the only difference is 2,000 in-game cash. The next one comes in is the CPW, which costs 17,500 cash, which is like quite ahead of it, so we're not counting that in. It have a low damage and, you know, more fire rate and the bullet spread. I don't know, I'm not counting that in because it's like quite off from the first 3 weapons. So in conclusion, I can say I'm not quite enchanted with the pulse pistol. I expect it to do much better. If it's a semi-automatic weapon, I would want that it gives a more fire rate. It should have, like, you know, it's a semi-automatic weapon, it should have a higher fire rate. It should have a lower recoil, or like add something that it, you know, brings it more, or give it some special advantage that people would use it instead of the other secondary weapons. So I would say there is a need for some tweaks and for some changes in the pulse pistol to make it worth 7,500. But for now, if you are deciding to buy it, I would say if you can, you know, if you can stay on the USB, that's fine, or if you can add 2,000 more, then buy the revolver or go ahead for the CPW. Pulse pistol, it's a new weapon, but it's not a new feature or a new service or a new tactic that you can choose. So I would not prefer it, and I would suggest Mac to, you know, do some changes on it, or like let me know what special thing it have that we should buy this weapon. But yeah, this is the whole review thing, and here's my conclusion. If you have any special, you know, feedback about this, or, you know, of course, let me know. I might be wrong about my conclusion here, so if I am, just correct me, and if I'm not, just add with me. And yeah, I guess that's it for the review video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.